UPSC Engineering Services Examination 2019 Prelims is just over today, and the paper 1 and paper 2 analysis is being carried out by the MADE team. Today we have entire MADE civil engineering team with us, including the all subjects faculty members. I would like to tell you that we have the discussion today for the two reasons. One, some of you must be thinking ki what will be the chances of selection for the mains for you, and second, how you should study and plan for your future. So let us take the subject one by one, and let us start with the RCC. I'm guessing, sir, what is your opinion about this subject, nature of questions and level of difficulty and pattern of the questions this year as compared to the earlier years?
Sir, as compared to previous year 7 questions were asked, and this year number of questions asked are 12.
Right.
Out of 12 questions, I can see the questions are scattered from different topics, like introduction. From introduction, 3 questions have been asked. Even the working stress method, that was out of the syllabus, and from there also 1 question and 1 very difficult question have been asked. However, the students can solve that question if they have the clear concept of WSM. But this was not in syllabus. Even after that, this question has been asked. That was not expected. From column, 3 questions have been asked. Out of those, 2 questions were very easy. 1 question was average.
You mean to say even they are asking the question which is not in this syllabus?
Right.
Something.
Whereas the WSM, we were expecting, and now no question will be asked from WSM. But still from there also 1 question, and a very tricky question has been asked for design of a over and force section, where calculations, a lot of calculations are required. Even the questions have been asked from other topics, the newly added topics like staircase, masonry design, retaining wall, foundation.
These are unconventional topics, so students ज़्यादातर नहीं पढ़ते हैं.
Right. So these topics were added recently in 2017. From those topics, previous year also a number of questions from earthquake engineering were asked. This year also a mixed question of earthquake engineering plus column, combined question.
So what is your view, what we taught in classes, are the students in comfort zone with that syllabus what we taught? Can they solve the questions, or do they need to search everything in other books also?
Except 1 question, I find that all the
students should be able
can covered by the syllabus, whatever we have discussed in the class.
Right. Jaspal ji, if we talk about the environmental engineering, it's equally important last year and this year. What is the nature of questions and difficulty level?
50% of the problems are theoretical in approach, 50% are numerical based. Almost everything was covered, but this time solid waste disposal and noise pollution was not being covered. So 2 problems from that topic is comparatively less. Moreover, the standard of the paper is same as that of the previous year. So if we concentrate in the class notes, almost every problem can be covered.
Right. And in fact, we have seen 2 questions from environmental engineering. They are asked in the paper 1 also. It had become important.
These 2 problems are covered there.
Concepts are covered in the class. Right. Coming to the subject of highway engineering, highway and survey. What is the weightage of this in the exam, and how important this syllabus is, and the level of difficulty of questions?
So the level of difficulty are same as we can see from the previous year, but the difference only is last year they were about 50% numerical and theoretical, but this year they have asked 8 questions in highway engineering. So out of 8, 6 were theoretical numerical questions and 2 were only theoretical, and that was simple theoretical. But the numerical was a little more difficult. It is more calculative. They need calculate. The student is now.
And calculation requires the calculator.
Yes. Without calculator, it will be difficult for the student.
This is the main problem. Calculator use is not permitted, but the nature of calculation is need of calculator.
So these problems are to be avoided. Means students should know that they don't have to run this problem.
Right.
Instead of
they have to practice right from beginning without calculator.
Yes. Manual calculation they will have to now do.
In fact, we have seen some questions which are descriptive type, conventional type.
Yes.
They have been converted in objective.
Yes, in fact, the last year, if you see the previous year booklet, from the previous year booklet, the same questions, they have changed the data and they have asked the same questions with the different data. So in highway, if we compare from the last year, then the questions are a little more as compared to the last year. It was approximately 6 questions from highway last year, but this year it is 8 questions.
Any unconventional area in highway have been asked? Any unconventional which is not routinely in the syllabus?
Yes, sir. One singular elastic theory. There was one topic.
Okay. And we have seen this year more questions from the unconventional topics like airport, docks, harbor, tunneling.
Yes, sir. The 3 questions from tunneling was here this time. They have not asked the tunneling before.
And even the geology also.
Geology also. But the geology is very simple and very simple and straightforward area. They have asked the questions from a very simple topic.
Manish, coming on to the fluid mechanics portion, what is the difficulty level as compared to last year?
Sir, actually last year questions comparatively more asked in the subject, but this year comparatively less. I think so in the fluid mechanics they have asked 5 questions, but the benefit goes to the student who has covered all the topics. Because from the last topic they have asked 2 questions and the questions comparatively very simple and theoretical problem was there.
So students cannot afford to drop any topic.
Yes, each and every topic is equally important. Last year what they have done, they have asked 3 questions from the first chapter and the 3 questions was related to surface tension. But the 3 questions were numerical. This year they have asked 1 question from the first chapter. But they have asked also such as if I am going to take example Bernoulli equation for the adiabatic compressible flow. So it's that what we study that is for incompressible, but little bit you have to work out to derive the expressions. So this is a little bit different type of questions.
And how many questions from fluid machines?
Machines around they have asked 6 questions.
6 questions.
Out of which 50-50, 3 of them numerical problems and 3 of them theoretical.
And nature of difficulty? Average.
And nature of difficulty average, one of the problem is different what they have asked about load factors and all.
Right. Coming to subject of structure analysis, Swami Gupta, your opinion about on structure?
The structures, they have covered all the topics evenly. Around 9 questions they have asked this year. And only 2 or 3 questions require calculator. Without calculator, we cannot manage. And in the steel structures, 2 questions completely out of box questions. They cannot manage.
Right. Vivek, your opinion on the structure?
Sir, as compared to last year questions, last year 3 questions were from structure dynamics and this year only 1 question from structure dynamics. So students are analyzing generally previous year question papers and they have been preparing more for structure dynamics, but this time the question from structure dynamics has reduced drastically. So that's why I always keep on suggesting students that don't focus on previous year pattern only. You should cover the entire syllabus. Focusing more on previous year pattern is not sufficient for examination nowadays.
Right. So for the strength of material, what is the difficulty level and type of questions?
Strength of materials are last year around 15-16 questions. This year 2-3 more. There are 18 questions. 3 questions from the simple stress strain, 4 questions from the principal stress, 2 torsion, 1 column, spring, every topic covered.
So in the strength of material, almost all the topics are covered and important topics are asked more.
Yeah,
principal stress is 4 questions.
4 questions. Except deflection, but deflection covered in the column question.
Deflection is only in the column question.
Column question.
Okay. And the type difficulty level of question was
questions easy,
easier size or average size,
but little more calculation. Like for 1 column question, rank times
lengthy in calculation. Lengthy in calculation is the nature in almost all the subjects. In fact, it was the same in the mechanical engineering as well. When we let us talk about the soil mechanics around here. So soil is another important area for the GATE and IES both exam, and again we have seen 13 questions. What is your opinion on it?
Definitely, it is most important, one of the most important subject. And last year there were 17 questions. This time there are only 13 questions. Out of 13 questions, that 10 questions are very easy. We can solve very easily. But remaining 3 questions, I can say that 1 question is out of the box. So that is Pag-Henshin and Thornburg. That is not in syllabus. And next one is directly empirical equation. They are asking the empirical equation, and that empirical equations are generally not used. So 1 question is empirical. So we cannot say from what topic or empirical equations are generally not used. So that is like
But
out
I
of the
believe
box.
in UPSC exam, 5 to 10% questions which are out of the box can be
Yeah.
expected.
Can be
Otherwise,
expected.
the Union Public Service Commission will not have that kind of.
Yeah, definitely. But 10 questions out of 13, 10 questions are very easy. We can easily solve.
Easily solve.
But one is like 2 questions were there from foundation, and 3 questions from properties of soil, 2 questions were from shear strength. So overall that paper, like out of the box questions will be there definitely. UPSC is there. So out of 3, like out of
What
13.
was nature of questions, difficulty level in irrigation and hydrology engineering?
So in hydrology, there are 3 questions in this year, and the difficulty level is very simple, sir. One question is directly formula basis. One question is next question is theoretical, that is guidelines of installation of ring gauge, and one question is from national formula. And in last year there were 5 questions. In that 5 questions, basic has covered infiltration, phi index, W index, as well as hydrograph already covered in last year questions, but in this year famous area is not covered. But in PERT CPM, sir, there were total 12 questions. Out of these 12 questions,
PERT CPM, basically it was a construction planning and management, which includes PERT CPM, engineering equipments and the engineering economy.
Yes, sir.
And equipment and economy is not mentioned in syllabus, and there have been no questions in the last 2 years from these sections.
Yes,
But unfortunately this year the number of few questions are asked.
6 to 7 questions from engineering.
However, it was not mentioned in the syllabus, and the students may or may not be prepared. Many students may not be prepared because it was not the part of syllabus.
50% questions from engineering economy, sir.
So this area must have been difficult for a student because
Yes,
they have
sir,
not
definitely,
studied on it.
definitely. And in irrigation engineering, sir, there are 11 questions, 5 numericals and 6 theoretical questions, and difficulty level is high.
When we see overall, around 35% questions are only theory, and 65 to 70% questions are numerical, and many numerical questions require the use of calculator, and which is not allowed.
Correct.
So I think it might not be possible for a student, might not have been possible for a student to attempt all the questions because of time, lack of time. What was the difficulty level in building material, Rajat?
Sir, last year, as we can see, 15 questions were asked. This year, 13 questions were asked. And in the 13 questions, I found 1 or 2 questions that requires a calculator. And in one question, it is very hard to calculate the exact equation. So approximately, we have find the answer. So this is one thing. And the other thing is, building material is having a wide domain. Therefore, it is always
A
hard
lot
to
of
cover.
diversity and open-ended questions.
Yeah,
and
so it
everything
is
can be
always
asked.
hard to cover everything in a class. But if somebody has attended the class properly, then at least 70% question can be attempted.
Easily done. Right. Steel structure is the area which normally is less, but this year we have seen again 9 questions, last year 12 questions. This year 12 questions, last year 9 questions.
This year 12 questions they asked,
12
last year
questions.
9.
Right.
In these 12 questions, 2 questions are completely out of box questions. Very difficult for the students to answer. But other 9 questions easily they can manage.
Airport, docks, harbour and tunneling. These are the unconventional or less important topics usually, and some students they ignore. So what is the cost for ignorance this year students must have paid? Kitne questions are?
Total 7 questions they have asked, and almost only 1 or 2 questions we can say that it is not possible without reading the proper notes or extra material. Sometimes we can say that. Otherwise, we can go for the rest of the 5 or 6 questions.
So if we analyze, building material is more or less last year's type.
Yes.
Strength of material is more or less last year type. Structure is, I think, similar. Steel is little bit difficult as compared to last year. RCC easier as compared to last year. Construction planning management is tougher than last year. Fluid mechanics, hydraulic machines as compared to last year.
Questions a little bit 2 or 3 questions are different.
Level of difficulty, difficult side. Irrigation is difficult side. Environmental engineering is on same. Soil mechanics is almost same. Survey
More or less
same.
Highway,
Railway is more or less same. But docks and harbour and airport and tunnel, the number of questions are more. So I find in total out of 150, maybe 5 or 7 questions difficult than the last year or 10 questions. So cutoff may come down 10 to 12 marks as compared cutoff in the technical part. Paper 1 of GS section was also difficult as compared to last year, as our the GS team suggested. Maybe 10 marks down there, 10 to 12 marks down here. In total, cutoff may come by 15 marks, somewhere around 180 to 190. What is your opinion on it? Just
in between 190 plus minus 5 marks.
190 plus minus
Yes.
5.
Plus 190, between
Approx.
190,
185, 190, 195, somewhere like this.
I found 190 to 195.
190 to 195. So expected cutoff, the MADE team says it is 190 to 195 near about. However, this is our prediction. Actually, what will happen? There are several other parameters. There is a lot of subjectivity in the answers. Sometimes we feel that our answer is correct one, but there may be a different angle of evaluation of the answer. There is definitely subjectivity. We have put our best and most sincere efforts and at earliest to give the solutions of the engineering services examination. You as a student are now open to put the cross questions with us. You can challenge the answers given by us, and if your challenges are evaluated and found correct, we will definitely modify and re-upload the corrected version of the answer sheet. We also request from all of you to give the feedback on this video and feedback on the test solutions. This year, MADE team has done a lot of homework on the improvement of the study material and making it tuned for the next year for the examination of 2020 for the engineering services and GATE. The previous year salt papers of GATE and IES are also modified, improved and edited, and workbooks are completely modified and overhauled, and we have come up with the new workbooks for the next year. Theory books are also revised. Lot of improvements have been done, and according to the latest pattern of examination, we are going to put focus for the next. Now, if you do not expect your interview call, suppose your evaluation, your marks are less than the cutoff what we expect, even then I suggest you to continue your preparation for the mains examination, and you have not failed. In fact, you should consider your success is little postponed. You need to put your most sincere efforts for the GATE examination, which is coming ahead in the 1 month, and after the GATE examination again take a 1 day or 2 day break and restart your preparation, and unless you get final call letter in your hand. If you want any support from the MADE, we as a whole team are fully committed to provide you the support. And conventional practice program and mains test series, we have planned very meticulously and very thoroughly, and I am very confident this will help a lot for those who are going to write this mains examination and those who are planning to write the future civil services examination. And even we have seen how prelims paper was numerical oriented. If you prepare for the conventional, it will definitely help in the prelims next year, and it will help in other exams also. So आप क्या सजेस्ट करना चाहेंगे आप तीरथ, व्हाट इज योर व्यू?
पिक्चर अभी काफ़ी बाकी है, और क्योंकि कन्वेंशनल टाइप क्वेश्चन बढ़ रहे हैं, इंक्रीजिंग द नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस ऑफ कन्वेंशनल, सो इट इज़ वेरी नेसेसरी कि वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन कन्वेंशनल ऑल्सो, because that gate is also that is also like more or less conventional, so we have to focus on that conventional question also, as well as theory no doubt.
और इस बार तो पता लग गया कि जिसने प्रैक्टिस किया होगा उसको एडवांटेज मिला होगा, क्योंकि प्रैक्टिस मैटर्स अ लॉट, एंड दैट विल हैपन इन गेट एज वेल. तो जसपाल जी, गेट में स्टूडेंट्स को अब जो 1 महीना बचा है इसमें क्या कर लेना चाहिए?
So I would suggest that cover the entire syllabus.
Practice a lot.
Practice a lot. We normally leave small topics.
एग्जाम एरर मत करो.
We normally leave small topics, so focus should be paid on all the topics. It should be covered in entire syllabus.
So Vivek ji, for GATE last moment tip, what you will say?
Sir, in general, students put more effort on few subjects and leave other subjects. That should not be done nowadays, because at any point of time, weightage of some subject increases and some subject decreases.
Praveen, you have any suggestion for a student who are second ranker of IES?
Sir, actually, the whole syllabus, the strategy to cover whole syllabus and practice everything very clearly. Even a tough topic or simple topic, we have to practice earlier. Otherwise, we can't perform in the exam. So thorough practice and covering of all the subject is very necessary for GATE as well as ESE.
Ashish ji, what is your suggestion for the last moment study for the GATE?
In the last moment, sir, I would say our test series is so perfect. If the student revise our test series only, they will get a very good rank.
There are many questions this year which have been repeated in the exam from test series.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, that is why test series itself is a complete full package.
राइट देखो हम लोग सभी का एक ये मानना है कि टफ एंड इजी डजंट मैटर बिकॉज इट इज एन internal competition within the civil engineering. If the paper is tough, it is tough for everybody. If paper is easy, it is easy for everybody. Cutoff will suit up. So in fact, when the paper is tough, really those students will be benefited who are sincere, talented, hardworking, and they have done a lot of practice. So I believe that ki tough examination is always favor for those who are good students. So don't worry, and even your score is less, it is coming lesser, don't be disheartened, there is still a chance, and let us see and wait to see how much cutoff goes, and we hope that the cutoff may come down even less than 190. This is my personally, entire team says it is 190 to 195, but I say 180 to 190. This is my expectation. Let us hope for the best because number of seats are more. On account of more number of seats, cutoff may further come down. Right. So thank you everybody, and have a best of luck for your coming GATE examination. Keep on revising, keep on solving, and do best what you can do. In life, success comes only by the hard efforts, and I am sure you can do it one day. Thank you.